Warning, this video is not what you think it is. I wholeheartedly admit the title of this video is pure clickbait. This is not a hit piece against YongYea or Jim Sterling. It's a hit piece against Downward Thrust and Clean Prince Gaming. This is not a hit piece against YongYea or Jim Sterling. It's actually a Trojan horse to recommend some good video games, AAA middle market and indie, to buy and play this holiday season. Video games are supposed to be about joy, entertainment, happiness, and I want to spread and promote those things. There's simply too much cynicism and negativity within the gaming community on the internet. It's video games, people. Have fun. Before we finish up this little intro here, I do want to apologize, and I hate that I have to do this, that I basically have to lie in order to get YouTube to actually promote my bloody video. Since the vast majority of my subscribers don't actually see my content when I upload it, and despite the heads of YouTube saying they're not a fan of drama, their goddamn algorithm AI sure is. So I apologize for, and I hope you don't mind the bait and switch, but now with all that out of the way, let's get into this.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Hell no, no, to the no, no. Hell to the no, no, to the no, 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 no. Hell to the no, no.
Hey! Hi! How you doing? This is the Gamertron, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. So to answer the clickbait title, how are YongYea and Jim Sterling wrong about video games? Well, quite simply and frankly put, it's just not all doom and gloom when it comes to the video game industry. Hell, this isn't even specifically about Yong and Jim. More so their audiences with the broad, sweeping generalizations and absolute statements being made from a place of subjectivity and pure emotions and not objectivity and facts. And with the goal of virtue signaling, self-validation, and moral fagging. For the sake of clarification, please don't misinterpret what I'm saying as, you kids on the internet, you can't have opinions based off feelings and emotions. What are you, gay? Nah, that's not me. I'm taking the Mahler approach. Praise be to our glorious objective overlord, in that my stance is to draw a very clear line between objectivity and subjectivity. Don't conflate your opinions with the facts. Don't twist the facts to make them suit your opinion. I personally don't believe that's too unreasonable an ask, since subjectivity is not always implied. But getting back to video games, there has been a growing consensus within the gaming community on the internet that the video game industry as a whole sucks. It's all greedy, it's all anti-consumer, and I've been vehemently protesting against this narrative through most of 2017 and 2018, because it's objectively false. My opposition and the perpetrators of this narrative just repeat the same tactic over and over again. Cherry pick a handful of anti-consumer products with anti-consumer business practices from greedy anti-consumer video game publishers and then use that to paint a broad brush against the entire industry. But all it takes is some simple research, a quick Google search, and taking a look at the list of hundreds of video games that release each and every year. It's there for all to see that we get way more good video games than bad every year. And yet there are still so many trying to push this narrative that video games sucks, they're dying, they're doomed, we're in the dark ages of gaming. And this isn't a question of whether or not you personally like and enjoy the video games coming out nowadays. Personal taste, everyone enjoys different things. Just because you like something doesn't mean it's good, just because you hate something doesn't mean it's bad. Now, while I certainly have my own biases, especially when it comes to this subject matter, all it takes is a quick trip down memory lane over the past few years of gaming for me to easily bolster my position that we are swimming in great video games to play and enjoy. Let's start with 2016. We got Total War Warhammer, Dishonored 2, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Watch Dogs 2, Gears of War 4, Dark Souls 3, Titanfall 2, Doom 2016? Like seriously people, Doom 2016 is my ace in the hole. Yeah, it's my favorite video game of all time, my favorite first-person shooter, so of course I'm biased. But you wanna stand there, sit there and tell me we get no good video games nowadays? We haven't got good video games in years? Doom 2016 exists, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. In 2016, we also got Killing Floor 2, Shadow Warrior 2. As hesitant as I am to put this on the list, for the sake of objectivity, Overwatch, and then Hitman, Firewatch, Inside, Superhot. Look at all those amazing games, and that was just 2016. Moving on to 2017, we got Neo, Resident Evil 7, Prey, Echo, Little Nightmares, The Evil Within 2, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, Nier Automata, Total War Warhammer 2, Absolver, Halo Wars 2, Ruiner. Seriously people, are you starving for good video games? Where the hell are you looking? Not Activision and EA, I hope. Widen your perspective, broaden your horizons, please. Now what does 2018 got to give us? Monster Hunter World, Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Vampire, Far Cry 5, Warhammer Vermintide 2, Omen Sight, Super Daryl Deluxe, Indie Pogo, The Strange Brigade, Gris, Project Warlock, Lost in Vivo, Speed Brawl, Death's Gambit, Celeste, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Into the Breach, A Way Out, Detroit Become Human, Octopath Traveler, The Banner Saga Free, Ashen, Insomniac's Spider-Man on PS4, God of War, and of course, Red Dead Redemption 2. And keep in mind, I'm being intentionally restrictive with this list, and not including objectively good video games that just so happen to have bad business practices in them. If I did, this section of the video would be a lot longer and include such titles like Tekken 7, Soul Calibur 6, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, Tales of Berseria, Middle-earth Shadow of War. It's actually a really good game, but the microtransaction controversy really damaged that game's image online. And good God, there's so many more video games, and I forgot so many. Like, holy shit, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn, Super Mario Odyssey, Cuphead, how did I forget Cuphead earlier, Injustice 2, Divinity Original Sin 2, for Christ's sakes. There's so many more games I forgot. Uncharted 4, Darkest Dungeon, XCOM 2, Fury, Persona 5, Ratchet and Clank. Hell, just this month, December, we got Insurgency, Sandstorm, Below, and Dusk. And with all of those games being listed off, do you still want to tell me that the video game industry sucks and we get no good games nowadays? Have you stopped to consider that maybe you're just a masochist, what with your odd obsession with EA and Activision? Yes, video game publishers are greedy and anti-consumer, and do dumb stupid shit that creates for them PR nightmares. Water is also wet! We've said this, we've repeated this, time and time again. Definition of insanity much? Can we please move on? Perhaps remove yourself from your echo chamber and take a look at the big picture here, folks. We are swimming in quality video games, being made with soul and passion behind them. There is nothing and no one stopping you from enjoying video games, from enjoying gaming, but yourself. The mass moral outrage and moral grandstanding is unnecessary. And the lying, oh god, the lying. Please stop lying. Video games nowadays don't all suck. They're not all greedy cash grabs. And no, Downward Thrust, single player games are not dying and not hard to find, thank you.
Single player games have died. Basically, single player games are so rare today because being a single player gamer in 2018 can be challenging. Some say it's a time of having to scrounge for a good single player game, that they are going the way of the dodo. It says you're a heretic!
Alright, so let's hypothetically say you're a gamer that's been led astray. You fell for the lies that the video game industry is totally and completely evil and greedy, and the only video games you know about are Call of Duty, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Fallout 76, Destiny 2, Mass Effect Andromeda. Oh, you poor thing. My child, come here. Allow me to take you on a journey that will help you rediscover the beauty of video games. Let me share with you my personal recommendations for video games you must pick up and play if you are one of those hypothetical gamers of which I speak. I present to you the Gamertron Show's top 10 video games that prove that video games don't suck. Seriously, buy these games, play these games if you haven't already. Now these are in no particular order. So, number 1, Doom 2016. Number 2, Titanfall 2. Number 3, Warframe. Number 4, Nier Automata. Number 5, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Number 6, Monster Hunter World. Number 7, Darkest Dungeon. Number 8, Resident Evil 7. Number 9, Cuphead. And number 10, Omen Sight. Now this list is based off a few things, mostly positive reviews, different gameplay styles and game types, good stories and characters, pro-consumer business practices, and overall fun factor I personally had with each of these games. I think these are all perfect examples that soul, that passion is still alive and well in video games, in the video game industry of today. And to deny it, to say otherwise about it, it's dishonesty, it's lying, it's heresy.
It says you're a heretic!
And keep in mind, my personal experiences and sample pool is limited because I am a PC-only gamer. There's a ton of excellent video games that came out exclusively on the consoles. While console exclusivity, I will argue, is inherently anti-consumer, doesn't change the fact that there are good video games being released on those platforms. And on top of all of this, I have been limiting the scope of this conversation, of this discussion, to just the past few years, 2016, 2017, and 2018. I could go back even further into 2015, 14, 13, and provide you dozens upon dozens, hundreds upon hundreds of fantastic video games. Nothing is stopping you from buying, picking up, and playing video games that came out a couple years ago, a few years ago. I will repeat myself. Nothing and no one is stopping you from enjoying video games right now but yourself. A few rotten, greedy AAA video games that we get every year doesn't mean the entirety of the industry is rotten. And just looking into the future of this medium, of this art form, of this industry, of this hobby I love and care about so dearly, the future is looking so very bright, with upcoming titles such as Metro Exodus, Kingdom Hearts Free, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Devil May Cry 5, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, Rage 2, Gears of War 5, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Code Vein, Ace Combat 7, Left Alive, The Sinking City, Control, and of course, Doom Eternal. Oh, Doom Eternal! Oh, this gives me an opportunity to point out the absolute fucking heresy from YongYea and Jim Sterling, as neither one of them have mentioned Doom Eternal or made a Doom Eternal video. How dare they not give praise to our Lord and Savior Doom Guy?
It says you're a heretic!
Well, I hope I've made my point. I hope this holiday season you will all go out, pick up, and play some awesome video games. Enjoy some awesome video games with friends and family. There's such a variety of stories to experience and get swept up in, memorable characters to meet and care about, exciting action-packed experiences, unique, one-of-a-kind moments that you can only have in these video games. There's even fun to be had and good memories to be made in video games with bad, greedy business practices and unfortunate, disappointing pasts and reputations. Rainbow Six Siege, For Honor, The Division, Destiny 2, some of the newer Call of Duties, even the EA Star Wars Battlefront games. There's sparks of light and love even in Shadows of Avarice. Gaming has always been about fun, experiencing childhood fantasies, being able to have experiences that you could never experience in the real world, or experiences that are out of your reach in the real world, but perhaps get a taste of. Get an unexpected connection to something in a video game that perhaps changes your life for the better, for the positive, makes you think, makes you feel. Video games are just capable of doing so much good and just truly providing happiness in so many people's lives. I don't want that to be forgotten. I don't want that to be overshadowed by greed, by wrath, by pride, by envy, by lies and distrust. Gaming is great, and I hope you can see it too. I hope you can discover it. Anyways, that's been a video. I hope you liked the video. If you did indeed like the video in any way, shape, or form, please be sure to hit the like button. And the like button helps you, helps me, helps everybody involved in the video. With the like button, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. I love reading comments, getting you in the comments. Please leave a comment. What are your thoughts, feelings, opinions on the topic of this video? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to help out and support this video, then please share it on social media, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you want to help out and support me directly, well, there's always Patreon. Anyways, guys, that's been a video, and I'll see you all later.